Welcome to Around the Reel with your hosts, Aaron Carlson, Charles Lawson, and Samantha Hannah. Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Mr. John Reddy.
Hi, John.
Hello.
And everyone can hear me okay?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Okay.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. There's a little brain lag there.
Oh, no, it's all good. I gotta keep you on your toes, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, where are you at right now, John?
I am in my workout room at home right now.
Okay.
Where's your home?
Yeah, where's your home?
Oh, Tigard, Oregon.
In Oregon, okay. What's the weather like
Yeah.
right now there? What's it like?
Hot, sunny. Actually not too bad compared to everywhere else in the south though. But yeah, just I got the window closed. Hopefully there's no breeze or noise or anything that way.
Oh,
you
no,
sound
you're good.
great, and we had to do the same thing, is why I'm asking, because I'm sweating balls right now.
Or his balls
yeah.
are sweating. One of the two.
It is hot.
It doesn't help that I'm like chugging coffee as we go here, but
Oh, Jesus. Hot coffee?
no, I had a chance to cool down. So
Okay,
we're good.
good. All right,
Oh,
fair
that's
enough,
good.
fair
At least it's cool coffee.
I'm going with the ice cold beverage today, as
yeah.
usual.
I'm hitting the coffee right along with you.
You hitting the coffee too? All right.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Yeah,
Okay,
who-
well, I'm hitting the vodka right along with you, Aaron.
Hey, good job. Whee!
It's a fun Saturday so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every Saturday's like that.
Yep.
You know what's weird though? That did not sound like Charles Lawson talking. I know we got John with us today as our guest, but I heard a different voice in
There was
here.
a different voice.
Yeah, who's with us today?
Who is
Sam?
with us today?
Ooh.
It is Steve Eaton.
Oh,
Hello, everyone. Hi.
We have Steve Eaton today.
Co-hosting. Chuck is on
Co-hosting for
vacation,
us.
so Steve
Yeah.
jumped in and is filling his shoes.
Yeah.
I was very busy. There was a video game that was calling my name, but yeah, I'm going to put that off for a little bit.
Well, let's ask him. What game are you playing right now, Steve? Besides Minecraft with your son?
I was going to say it was Minecraft with my son,
Okay, got
but
it.
you know, it was, yeah, that's the norm around here. It's
Yeah.
like Dad's not writing; he should probably be playing Minecraft.
That's a beautiful thing. I love it.
Yeah,
Sam, I told you that's what Dad should be doing.
What?
Playing games.
Playing video games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we make movies and play video games. That's what we do. That's it. That's enough. You know what I mean? That's a lot.
the look on her face was wonderful.
John, you get what I'm saying. Like, we're creatives,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Yeah, see, John knows. He
Oh,
understands.
does creativity equal playing video games?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it really? Is
it's-
that a creative thing to do?
It's research.
Minecraft?
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
well, Minecraft. Okay, well, Minecraft.
It's like
you're always
Legos, but it's
creating.
way
yes, okay.
cheaper.
No, I can get
That's-
down on some Minecraft. I understand. Yes.
Well, what's wrong with all the other games?
You're
I mean,
just shooting people.
but they have stories to them, like
But
movies.
you're just
Yeah, they-
shooting people.
But they have very creative
You
stories.
say that like it's a bad thing.
Like The Last
You
of
know?
Us. You
Well,
love the show.
I mean, we all
You
love to
love-
shoot people sometimes.
Yeah, exactly, Sam. John, she's full of shit. She loved The Last of Us. She watched the whole season with me. Never knew it was a fucking video game.
Well, I knew it
It's
was
the
a video
same
game.
thing.
I knew it was a video
yeah.
game because you told me.
Yeah, but imagine playing it. It was great.
What'd you say, John? I did not hear you.
Sorry.
Oh, I was just agreeing, but I was also going to say if you like sort of the intersection of video games and movies, there's I don't remember what the company is, but they make a series of games where it presents itself as if you're playing a movie. And the most recent one they had that come out last year was called The Quarry, where basically you try your best to keep all the characters alive, but I feel like that's fitting for the horror atmosphere.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it
See?
is. Okay. So what system is that on?
I have it
That's
on the
probably-
PlayStation. I think it might be available on some other consoles as well.
I've heard
Some
of
of
that
them are
one.
only
It looked amazing.
exclusive.
It looked really cool.
I never
There's
heard
a few weird parts, like they over animate somebody's mouth with motion caps, so it looks a little bit weird. And then there's one guy who his eyes and his mouth almost never open at all. So it's a little wonky here and there, but other parts look great.
It sounds like Chug.
Yeah, I mean, it did kind of sound like Chuck a little bit there.
Open your eyes; they're gonna kill you.
Well, all right. Well, here we are, folks.
Yeah, we're not just the guest host today, but we also have John Reddy with us.
Mm.
Did I say
Hello.
your name correctly?
Yes,
Okay.
usually they say Reedy, so I'm impressed you got it.
Oh, okay, good.
Well, we've been working on the joke.
Well, we've been saying the joke all day.
yeah.
All right.
You think John
You
will
think
be
he's
ready?
ready? Do you think
I'm
he's-
sure he has
you think he's
never ever
ready?
heard that. though.
Never. I'm sure.
Little known fact, I was born ready legally.
Oh,
Yeah.
So far, well
Dope.
done.
All right.
Dope.
I love how on it you are.
Hell yeah! On that
I'm
note,
glad
welcome to
we
Around the
got
Reel.
that one out of the way, right?
Beautiful. Welcome to the show.
Awesome. That's awesome. So introduce yourself to everyone that doesn't know who you are.
Yeah, man.
All right. Do you want like the Gettysburg Address version or like the Spark Notes?
It's your show, so you do what you do.
This is your show. So
Okay.
you do
I'm
you.
John, one of 4 kids. I grew up on the East Coast, moved out here about 7 years ago. I started doing like plays when I was 13, just kind of on a whim because we had to for a grade, and then it kind of stuck. And I started doing film at the very end of when I was on the East Coast, and then a little more seriously once I moved out here.
Awesome.
And yeah, it's kind of
And that's what you're
the
doing. How
short
old
version.
are you?
Nice.
I'm old enough to remember 9/11, and I'll leave it at that because your age affects casting opportunities.
Oh,
I play younger.
does it really?
I play
It
I
really
play
does?
younger than
Okay.
I
you
am.
totally
so
you look super
yeah.
young.
Fair enough.
So we'll,
I
we'll
get
give
that.
you. Hey, we'll just give you super young.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Dude, I tell everybody I'm 50, and I get great roles.
I
You know
tell
what
everyone how old I am. I'm proud of my age. Like I earned this shit. I'm telling you what.
I write my
give a
own
shit.
roles. That's why I get the roles.
I don't know.
You
what's
guys are
wrong.
wonderful. I ain't saying shit.
Steve.
I've
don't
looked
know what's-
since 60 since I was 16, so I'm just
stop
letting people
it.
think
You do not
otherwise.
like stop it.
Too funny. All right, so you got into
Age ain't nothing but a number, right?
it's yeah.
Who gives a shit?
What they say? What Indiana Jones say? It's not the age, it's the mileage.
Yeah, honestly. And you know what? How impressive is it if you're like way older than the part you can play?
Yeah, like I
That's
do.
gangster as shit.
Thank you,
If you
Sam.
can play, if you can play someone who's super younger than you are, then you're gangster. And I imagine, John, that you are one of those gangster actors that can play someone very much younger than you are.
it's the chick's just 9 hours of sleep and a lot of moisturizer.
See? Yep. You need that. Yep.
You know what? Moisturizer is key.
It's key.
Drinking water
lotion.
is key too. So I'm surprised I don't look like I'm 80. But anyway.
Yeah, that's the one thing I have advantage of all you guys, because all you guys are white people.
Oh yeah,
And I'm
because
brown.
black don't crack.
Well, I got that too, but I wasn't gonna go there because that's not even fair.
I mean, yeah.
I'm talking
it's not
about
fair.
like the lotion thing. Like we can tell we need lotion. You guys can't.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You have no
Your
idea.
face just starts to look like crackish.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh god, I think I should probably use something.
Well, mine looks like that when I use too much makeup. So.
Oh, is that right?
It's like I don't know if it's moisturizer or did I use too much makeup. I'm not sure.
You know, after a while, you guys look like the white towel that you have that is dried on the floor. That's all crusty
Listen here.
and stuck
That's-
together. Then you know
That's
what I
really
mean?
quite rude.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't.
It's
trying to be
accurate.
rude.
I said that about myself this morning.
Exactly.
Said
Where
that
do you
Yeah.
think I got it from? Okay. Anyway.
Oh my goodness. So,
I'm not trying to manifest that for myself, so we're gonna look like this forever.
No, you're amazing.
moisturizing,
You're gonna look
brother.
great for
Okay.
years.
keep more. Yeah,
Thank you.
manifest
Thank
your
you.
manifest your youth.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
you're doing because you're doing a great job.
I can't believe we're talking about moisturizer.
I know.
I love it.
Well,
I
we
love
talk
it.
about the most randomest shit.
Shit comes up on this show, John. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We don't
It's,
know what we're doing.
no, it's very pertinent for making sure your skin looks good when you're on set. You got to feel confident in your skin.
Truthfully.
Absolutely. You're
Yeah.
gonna have a camera in your face. You gotta have a good
Yeah.
face.
And I
right?
hope you listened to at least one of our shows so you knew what you were getting yourself into.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good. All right, good.
I was cycling through some of the podcasts.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
That's you know what? That's good because now you know what you're in for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's dive in a little more here.
Yeah, I
So
wanna dive
okay,
in
so
here.
you were working in high school and plays and stuff.
Mhm.
Okay, why'd you even take that challenge on?
He said he had to.
Because
He needed the grade.
Well, I want to know why though. Like, there's a why to it.
well, that's true. I mean, the first one, it was like middle school. It was part of an art class everyone had to take, and for one of the units, you had to like be in a play, and you could choose if you want to try out for a bigger part, if you just want to be a smaller part. And I just kind of did it on a whim, which is I'm a middle child, so I didn't get very much attention because I didn't compete for it. I come from a loud New York family where I was the one that just gave up and let everyone bulldoze me with conversation.
Okay.
And it felt like a cool way to have people sort of say kind things about you when they're all focused on you and they're expecting you to say something.
Yeah.
And so I was lucky. I got the lead in that one, and then the next one, and then I got crap parts for the next decade. It took a very long time before I started to get some good parts in theater again. So there was a progression there, but I just really enjoyed getting that feedback from the audience.
Mhm.
It felt really cool. And in a way where you didn't have to feel self-conscious because it was what is expected. You're there to perform for somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, what made you go from, okay, so you did theater, which is always super impressive to me because, like, wow, just that's hard. That's really hard. But how did you go from that to wanting to do, like, film and commercials and stuff? Because you've done a bunch of commercials, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. Okay. So what made you switch over to that?
That would be towards the end of my schooling. I had a friend that was a film major, and she was just asking people that were in a play she was in recently to like audition for it. And I found out after we had started that it was a mockumentary about a porn star, but you don't find out that they're a porn star to the very end.
Okay,
All right, cool.
Leading to a cheesy classroom setup. So yeah, but that's how I segued into that. And part of why I think it's good for people to constantly be in front of the camera and like, whether it be through a podcast or like making YouTube videos, is you can sort of like learn your bad tics of like facial expressions and things that you don't care for. Mm-hmm. And I was so god awful, and I'm so glad that it doesn't exist on the internet anywhere. I was so trash in that movie. But it's kind of started there, and I just kind of kept doing the student films for a while. And then when I was paying off my loans, I was just working at a restaurant full time, and I would do little sit-down advice videos on YouTube for actors and writers. And it really helped me kind of figure out how to connect to a lens in a way that wasn't theatrical. Mm-hmm. And that manifests in a lot of people with like dancing eyebrows. You just get really big expressions.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you get used to being in the chorus of a musical, and you have to emote really big for the back row.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
And I realized that I really had fun writing and directing things too. So that helps just push even further into the filming stuff. And when I moved out to the West Coast, and I got my first agent, they gave advice that if you don't have opportunities, you have to make them for yourself.
Hell yeah.
And
you do.
That's huge.
There was a couple church janitors that made a post in a Facebook group about, we like horror movies, and we're just looking for other people that might be interested to start making some stuff with us. And I had just shot one like right before I had moved out to the West Coast. So I was working with them for a while, and then, people joined and they petered off, and I sort of continued with it. So I've had that going for about 7 years.
That's cool.
Fucking dope,
That's
dude.
a long time. That's great.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
He's getting down.
I know, yeah.
See, okay, so you were forced into the play thing, and then you had no idea whether you liked it or not. So you just did it. Okay.
But
So-
being the middle child, they love attention because
Yeah,
they
well, it
lack
makes
attention.
sense.
They don't
Yeah.
get any of it.
So you found a way. Yeah, he found a way, just like
Yeah.
Mandalorian. This is,
Just like Olivia. Well, Olivia's my middle child, and oh my God.
yeah,
does
she needs attention. Yeah. Yeah, she craves it.
But she gets it, and you figured out a cool way to like get the attention that you need, and that's really cool. Like get the people, the eyes on you, and because you're good too, you're cool too, just like your siblings. I know, I get it. That's how it is.
I mean, I also get it. I found them more interesting than I found myself, so I like
stop.
totally get
No
that.
way. No way.
They eventually won over my best friend Corey, but became close to my sister and my younger brother, and like they would hang out apart from me, and I'm like, this is my life. So,
Like, I'm going to have a whole audience watch me because I can't take this anymore.
he knew about my sister's tattoos before I did, so they just got closer to everybody.
Right. Huh.
No, that's it's a great story.
It's an
a
awesome
great
story.
It is. It's great. And if it's your personality, I love this.
Yeah.
I love it a lot. So you reached out to us because you were interested in, how'd you hear about us?
I had originally, the first time that I heard about, I see posts about these episodes all the time, and was it the
About you're talking
Portland
about the
Actors or
Horrorverse?
Portland Casting on Facebook group.
Okay.
But originally, it was because one of the last plays I did before I moved down to Oregon was Dog Sees God, and Carson Stoll was in that one. And then he ended up doing some stuff with you guys before he moved.
Yeah, he did.
I love Carson.
Oh, we
Forgot
love
about
that
How
guy.
is he doing? I don't even see him very much online
No,
anymore.
we don't.
I have purged almost all my personal social media, so from
Yeah,
the
I know.
little
It was hard to
few
find
We
it.
didn't find you.
yeah, a lot of the Instagram photos that I've been able to find, it just kind of seems like he's chilling right now.
Okay.
But I'm uncertain how he's doing right now. But the last time I saw him was actually shortly before the pandemic, because I was crashed at his place while I was going out to Seattle for an acting class.
Okay. So we saw
In
him
the good
after-
times.
We
Yeah.
saw him during or after? During the
I
pandemic.
think it was
think.
during when he had an episode
Yeah.
with us. if I
Yeah,
remember
so
correctly.
you know what?
Yeah.
Though, thanks for bringing him up because we need to catch up with him.
that's a
because,
good dude.
Yeah, that is a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Very
I really
good
like
dude,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how. You heard about us and you thought you might want to act in our horror stuff. Is that kind of how it went, or?
I would really love any opportunity, and for a long time, Halloween's been my favorite movie. So
Okay.
I've obviously seen the fan films, and there's just a few names I'm quite familiar with. Like I know John Megison was doing those for a while.
Yep, he's still doing them.
And then I liked how one of them was ending with started to be a crossover into Camp Crystal Lake. So I like the whole horror-verse idea of them all existing in the same universe. I like
Yeah.
anthology kind of things.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of what where we're going with it a little bit.
John gets it. That's
Yep,
a
you
check
get
mark
it.
in his corner. There.
That is a check mark
He
in your corner.
understands.
Yes,
All
you do
right.
understand where it's going.
Well, okay then. Let's have some fun. Let's do an
Let's have
interview
some
and
fun.
see how well he does in this.
All right.
'Cause I want to see
I'm down.
why you ended up getting forced into acting.
okay.
And what about acting made you fall in love with it enough to continue pursuing it when you weren't pushed to do it anymore? Was it just the attention, or was there something else?
I don't know what it was. I mean, I think that was a big part of it, but also, I don't know. I guess why does anybody love anything? It just it makes you feel really good, and
I love that answer so much. I'm sorry.
You're giving it away. Stop.
It's deep. Yeah.
and you form all these like really interesting relationships along the way. Through theater, I mean, you get very close to that cast because you're doing several rehearsals a night, and on film. At least while I was living in Spokane, I'd met Carson when I was out there. That film community, it's just so many of the same people jump on all these different sets together, and it's a real community vibe. So I have a lot of close friendships I've made through that. And actually one of my buds, CJ, is coming down to visit later in August, I believe. But he was like my right-hand man for most of the stuff that I filmed while I was out there.
That's awesome.
So, and it can present you with all sorts of weird opportunities, like the
Porn
first
star
production
movies.
thing.
Sorry.
The-
Go ahead.
The first production thing I did when I came out here was like randomly via Tinder. I got acquainted with somebody on crew of a Tommy Wiseau movie, and then I drove down there and worked on that. So it was really cool to go from the college drinking games of watching The Room to being in the room with him.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy
He's-
cool.
He's a lot more with it than he lets on. He's a very, very smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
And a very hard worker too. And then I did a movie with Kelly Maroney earlier this year, and she's so sweet and like followed me on Facebook recently. So it's cool to have her as a Facebook friend.
That's fucking
We
cool.
Glenn, do
tried
you ever
to be your
feel like you
Facebook
end up-
friend, but we couldn't even find you. So
It was hard.
You really
Oh.
feel like you meet your tribe too when you like see these people and you're like, okay, I feel like a Martian when I'm out in the real world, doing whatever else. And then you meet creative people. That's how actually Aaron and I hooked up. Is like I was doing the same thing, listening to the podcast.
or
and
my
I'm like,
chopped liver.
No. Well, I mean,
kidding.
I met
my
you too. Yeah, no, totally. And then
I'm
you
kidding.
like go on set and you're like, these people are also Martians. Are we? We're on Mars. together?
Right.
We're all Martians together.
We
Yeah.
are. No, I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
feeling.
people call us nerds, but I like Martians.
that's a
Yeah.
great point,
Yeah.
Steve. Yeah, we are. We're on a different planet than they are.
We are a different planet.
Huh.
Yeah.
And we
it's
have
a good
to, and we have
planet.
to fucking go there sometimes. We have to like travel, like
We
beam
have to go
down.
back
and-
to like their
I
planet.
hate beaming down.
Yeah.
I don't want to beam down. I want to
I
stay
don't want
up
to
where
pretend
we're
to be
at.
a normie.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Who wants to
boring.
be a normie?
Fucking sucks. So stupid.
Who wants to
Yeah,
work
beam me
9
up,
to
Scotty.
5? Yeah, beam me up.
Yeah,
Scotty.
beam me the fuck back up. This is bullshit down
We're
here.
tired of this 9 to 5
You know what
shit
I mean?
and stuff. We're taking.
And every time I show up, I got a red shirt on. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
getting fucked over every time.
Wait, do you work at Target?
No, that's a Star Trek joke.
Oh,
Star
okay.
Trek
Because
joke.
I was like,
It's okay.
red shirt
I
Target.
got it. I was with you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, no, great answer with why you're
Yeah,
doing it, because I
super
think
great
that's why
answer.
we all do it. We all have a great feeling when we're doing these things. It makes you feel something inside, something is super happy, where genuine joy
Yeah.
is what it is. And, it's a lot of work, but you don't feel like it's work. So
Yeah.
I think that's joy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody can have happiness for a few seconds. That's what happiness is. It's like when you're eating a chocolate chip cookie, or Sam's eating a fucking Skittles, or, you get a 5-second orgasm. I mean, it's quick. Happiness is 5 seconds and fast, Joy is everlasting.
Well, it can be.
It can be. If
You
you have
can
genuine
have-
joy, I think you're okay. You're not going to let the world's issues and the trials of your day-to-day life actually take that from you. Creativity does that for me. Whenever I'm being creative, nothing else really gets in the way. And it's really cool. It's a very fucking cool thing. I love it for that reason. That's a great answer that you gave, because it may start with something where it's kind of like, I'm getting attention. This is great. Ooh, this feels kind of cool. But the more you dove in, the more you expanded on that whole philosophy. It's great. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I
love it.
loved it too.
Yeah.
I loved your answer as well.
Well, shit.
And-
I was trying to stump him with something.
Yeah, no. I don't think you're going to get this guy, but
No.
you could try.
This kid's sharp.
I
What
work
the
in
fuck?
customer service. I'm used to all kinds of
You're not
prompts
gonna
out of
get
the
him.
blue.
Yeah.
You're not going to get him.
No, I'm not gonna do it. No,
You could try, but
yeah, that'll do it every time.
pretty sure he's good.
Okay. Well, did I see you in Pillow Party? I swear your face is in that movie.
Fleetingly, just very briefly at the beginning.
thought so, Sam.
I lived through it, so if there's ever a
Yes,
sequel
I
and they
am.
do a callback, maybe my random side character might appear. Who knows?
It's
Okay.
in there because Aaron said that, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember."
No,
seeing
he was
him.
in it for a second.
I look like most white people, so I don't blame
I know
you
we
for
all
it.
look the
Yeah.
same, right?
We're interchangeable
Cracking.
entirely. Yeah.
Yeah, unmoisturized, just
We all look the
I
same.
had a very humbling experience at the movie I did with Kelly. There was a Portland premiere about a month ago, and one of the movies that was showing there had some guy from Wednesday, and some guy came up to me at the end. I had my mask on and everything, and who's like very like excitedly talking to me about the movie, and I'm like, oh no, I was in this one, and like not since Boy Scout summer camp where they made you march did I see someone doing 180 so fast out of a conversation. It was very humbling.
That's awesome.
We've all been there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
well, whatever.
Well, yeah, and just to comment on your thing about, being in movies and being kind of like, not a very good actor at the time, or not, where you want to be. It's kind of embarrassing, whatever. Aaron and I like to show our embarrassing shit because it honestly shows how much we've come, how far we've come. And
Absolutely.
I think that everyone who has bad stuff should embrace that bad stuff because you've come. I mean, it shows how much work you've put in and how hard you've tried to work through that and go beyond that. And so, like, I'm proud of I suck, but I'm proud of it.
That's you have to be.
I am.
I totally agree.
Because, there was one time I was not a very good actor. I'm still not a very good actor, but I try.
Well,
But
but
I
then her
love
first
that
film,
stuff.
she knocks it out of the park too.
Yeah.
So
You know what I mean?
that's
You know what
kinda
I'm
nice.
saying?
Yeah,
Like, honestly.
she's full of shit.
No,
she just doesn't like it.
Stressful
No.
when you set the bar high.
Yeah, exactly. She put that pressure on herself for being
Well,
that good.
I do put too much pressure on myself, but that's beside the point.
Mm-hmm.
The point is, like, you start somewhere. Everyone starts somewhere.
It's true. No, and that's a good point. And you have to embrace it.
You
Yeah.
do. You
Yeah,
don't have
absolutely.
to, but you should.
You should.
Yeah.
And I think you should put it out there because
you
it does
should.
show that growth.
It does, and you're proud of where you came from. Every time I see someone's old stuff, and it's funny, but it's cool because it shows their growth and it shows how far they've come. And I think that it shows how amazing they are now compared
Absolutely.
to when they started. It's a work in progress. It's always a work in progress for us filmmakers.
Yeah, it's a journey.
Yeah.
And that's a great gauge to look at how far you've come.
For real,
Absolutely.
it really is, and thank God it's all like documented, so you can
Yeah,
look at how
yeah.
far you've come because
Yeah, you can just relive a bit of that joy every time.
Every
well,
time.
it's one of those careers that is documented, so you can look back and look at like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing, like horrible.
Steve, we were watching one of our older movies I made with the
Last
kids
night.
last night. It's like an hour and 10 minutes. It's called The Intruder. where the dad gets fucking abducted by this alien. This alien comes out of his mouth. He's in this other world because the alien stole his soul and put it in this other place, and the kids are the only ones that can save the dad and bring him back to his body.
Was I in that movie? Because I heard my
Yes,
voice.
you are. You're
there.
in the plane with Chuck, and
Oh,
Michael
that's
Myers is on the airplane wing, and we were playing off of fucking William Shatner, and there's something on the wing. Okay, this whole movie is absolutely fantastic across the board. Story-wise, it's fucking hilarious.
I don't know about all that.
The production sucks dick. It's terrible. It's so bad. It's so bad. All of us acting so bad. But
bad.
I'm watching the story and I'm like, you know what? This would be hella funny if we actually made this like super good, production-wise. You know what I mean?
And like show the before and after.
Well, yeah. If we remade it now with the where we're at,
I'm not doing the
I
plane
swear to
thing
God,
again with Chuck. I'm not.
She's
doing
like,
it.
absolutely not.
But some of these some of the older things, if you're a writer, if you're a filmmaker, you know, and you go back to some of your old stuff and you see the story you made, you know, you may be able to tweak it here and there and make it better now. But overall, the stories aren't probably that bad. It's how you made it.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And remember when you
Yes.
tried to go back and like redo Metal Fox?
Yeah. And I still sucked. It was terrible.
But you tried to make it better because you
I
were like,
did.
I know so much more now. I'm going to make it better. And
Yeah.
you tried your ass off to make
Yeah.
it better. And you did make it better, but
Kind of.
it still kind of sucks.
Yeah, but when you look at what you were shooting with at that time, or
Yeah.
the skill level you had,
But the
I mean,
honesty is
all of
important
it.
too. When you look at it
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, I could do better. And then you look at it and you try to do better. And you're like, well, it's still shit, but it's less shit. And
Yeah.
you go, oh, the next thing will be even less shit.
Less shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
That's
if
right.
anyone says they weren't shit at one time, they're lying.
Oh, man.
They're lying.
They're full of
We
shit.
all start in
Full of
diapers.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely right.
I wasn't shit.
I'm willing to
ever.
concede maybe Meryl Streep might have been great always, just out the womb, but you know, I think
Yeah.
most of us start out bad.
Yeah.
Rarefied air.
I
there.
agree with
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
about Meryl Streep, though.
No, I
do
get it.
agree
Yeah,
with you
some
there.
people are just gifted that way.
Some
It's
people
like,
are gifted that way.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
of them-
screw
Like
them.
Kevin
Fuck 'em.
Costner and shit like that. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's just like
Whatever.
athletes. It's just some of them can just run fast.
Yeah.
You know, they're
Yeah.
just born that way.
And you're just like,
yeah,
fuck
that.
you.
That's so stupid. It's not fair.
You were just born with that shit.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Even playing field, my ass. Bullshit.
But you know what? Practice does get it counts.
Yes.
It makes better.
matters.
Yes.
It makes you better.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
And
You have
so
to
there is a
hone your
process.
craft.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that's where the work comes in. But if you
Yeah.
enjoy it, it's not work, and that's what my
Right.
point was earlier.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. So, John, how do you work on your craft then? What are you doing to keep elevating your acting?
The acting has taken a little bit of a backseat for a moment.
Oh.
This weekend and next weekend, I'm directing two things.
hell
Which just happened to line up back to back. So the prep for that was crazy at the last second. So
Wait, are you
I
skipping
actually-
steps and you're just going to directing?
doing what he
You're just
wants. He don't
Skipping
fuck- he
steps
don't
and
fuck-
going for it?
I've made close to like 30 shorts, and this weekend is actually the first day last night was, and this weekend we're filming the first 12 pages of what I hope to become a feature.
That you wrote.
Wow,
Yes. Yeah.
beautiful, man.
I wish you would have shared some of this stuff with us because we could talk all the kinds about that stuff, but we didn't see any of it. You'll have to
That's
share
okay.
after.
That's okay. Yeah.
I want to see it. I'm dying.
I
Yeah.
purposely very hard to find online, but I'll make sure to send some stuff retroactively via email.
Yeah, share it with us. We know how to keep secrets.
Okay.
But getting involved with that, those two guys, the janitors, which, I was also a janitor at the time. So it was a very weird janitors club, just making
That's
movies
awesome.
on the side.
No, that's no
It
joke. That's cool.
At this, our budget range, which is like nothing, we got to kind of figure out how to do everything. So I actually spent like the last year and a half. I have a friend that he's making a movie shooting in September called Patchworks about this orphan that gets adopted by bad family. And then she starts to make these scarecrows, and then they come to life and start replacing her family.
Oh, shit.
So
That's
I
fun.
like that.
when he told me about it, and I was like, would you be open to if I shot you some ideas for costume designs for the characters? So I sent him some drawings, and I sort of explained, because I learned from a friend, Aaron, that people, the way that you dress them tells a lot about the story. And, it's important to make people look like they're cohesively part of a unit together, have some sort of unifying feature to them. And since it was called Patchworks, I made patchwork components of several of these costumes here.
Wow.
But I spent the last year and a half actually sewing all that stuff, and a lot of it was the first time that I like learned how to cut patterns and make stuff. And I made one jacket and realized it wasn't quite working, so I made another one. But it all currently lives bagged up there right now.
Wow.
Awesome.
But that
You know
that
what?
took me a long
That
time.
is some gangster shit if I ever heard any.
It's beautiful.
That
I learned
is
how to
some
use a
cool
sewing
shit.
machine.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
changed
cool.
my world.
God, that's like, wow, you really, so you go to any length I mean, that's crazy cool.
Sometimes a little too hard.
No,
After all, you need to
no.
take a break.
Well, yeah, you do need a break, but still, like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. That just shows your
Passion.
drive and your passion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all of it. Yeah. Wow,
Oh
dude.
my God, like, so impressive. Like, I'm so impressed by you.
See, that's the thing about this creativity thing, because Steve can do all that kind of shit too.
Steve,
There's
yeah.
certain people that can use their brain outside of even where my mind goes. Like, I know where my skill set is, but if you ask me how to do some kind of practical effect, I'm like, I don't know. We'll figure something out.
But he calls Steve, and
I can't.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve, how are we
knows
gonna
all
do
that
this, bro?
shit.
You know. But John, like, I don't know. We just had this conversation. We did a table read last night for our next episode. People ask me what they need to wear for their vampire stuff. I'm like, be you. Just wear what you want to wear for
Yeah.
your fucking
Wait a minute.
vampire.
I thought I was a costume person.
Yeah, I know, but you weren't in the fucking meeting.
You didn't tell me I needed to be.
But anyway, but I always think, let them kind of design their own thing. But you know what? You make a good point. I'm like, I didn't even think of that. Like that cohesiveness.
Just, it's crazy.
You
Like,
know.
how you would even imply all that.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, once you start learning about film too, it's so expansive. Like within what you can do collaboratively. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very easy to go from a $10,000 or a $10 budget up to 200 million, and all it is like, okay, we're going to pull in more thoughts, more people, and that collaboration it's everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
it's
is
so
everything,
much,
Yeah.
and it's
Well,
like you
that
pull in
and
all
the-
kinds of skill sets.
that
It's
and the
really
work
cool.
that someone
yep.
puts in, like that work that you put in, John, is gonna matter tremendously to that story.
Absolutely.
To that story, it's gonna mean everything, and so that work is gonna matter because that kind of stuff does matter. When it's the little things that really do matter, honestly, and you don't think about them, or you don't necessarily listen to the score, when you're watching it the first time, but you don't understand how much the score brings it to life.
Yeah, it's
Kind
subliminal.
of like that, it's like, or the animation, Steve, that, the stuff, the little things that are done that take a lot of work, but they're still, just a second or, a few minutes or whatever, but they matter so much to bringing a story to life.
Yep.
And the costumes bring the story to life as well. So
Absolutely.
like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that shit matters like no other. I mean, you can even have, say so kind of actors, but if you have everything else in line, it's not going to matter because you're going to see all the other things. So you gotta, that's the creativity of film.
It can
is
help.
that what you're lacking in one area and you really come alive in another, that's going to distract people from where you're not so good or where you're not, you don't have it all there. But that's you got what it takes to be a director, actually. Like, I see director in you totally with all that you just said. Like,
dope.
go for it, dude.
It's
Go
crazy.
for
Boy
it.
Scouts really preps you for leadership roles,
Yeah.
so just
It's
out
true.
there.
Yeah, you totally have it. You have what it takes. So definitely go for it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it
that's
is.
awesome. You got a lot going for you.
It really is. Huh. Wow.
That's crazy.
I didn't see that coming, John.
No,
I didn't know that. I just thought you were just
Me
an
neither.
actor.
I
really
thought
did.
you were an actor.
I had no
just
idea.
Too.
So you're a fucking
and just
filmmaker,
an actor
bro.
is not just an actor, though. I mean, an actor is a hard job.
No, I know, but I mean, I
Just-
thought that was his skill set, But no, he's going outside of
No,
that. You're
he's
a
got it
fucking
all.
Swiss Army knife, just like a lot of us. You're doing
Yeah,
everything.
and
I
that's
think
what you gotta be.
the more different roles you get comfortable with, it makes you better at acting because you start to think of things like, where's my eye line? And
Absolutely.
how shallow is the depth of field? Like, where do I have to make sure I hit my mark, etc. So
Absolutely.
it really all adds to it. And
Yeah.
some of that stuff just kind of comes out of necessity because when I did that play with Carson, I had to learn how to play the piano because I had to play a lot of classical music on stage, and
Jesus.
it just started with me plunking through the keyboard because I grew up playing trumpet, so I know how to read sheet music. When you add a second hand, though, it's really difficult. But I got a $500 grant to make a movie like 5 or 6 years ago, and I I had a lot of issues where I had an editor back out the last second, I had a composer drop out the day before, so I had to learn how to use a MIDI sequencer online and start making the music. And then I got really into the making the music part, and it takes a long time,
Yes,
but
it
is
does.
like, it's nice to have that rest assured that you're not going to get a copyright strike for using somebody's copywritten music.
Right.
So I work
It's
like
huge.
really hard at making sure that I have the soundtrack squared away, and a lot of that just starts with like spotting in the timeline, like this is the mood we're going through here. This would be a good point to cut out. So
It's impressive
that's
as shit.
He's a filmmaker, Sam.
He's a
It's dope.
filmmaker.
It's
You're
dope.
a
It's dope.
filmmaker.
I love it.
I've-
You're not an
I've
actor,
gotta-
you're a filmmaker.
I gotta pay a compliment here then. So to divert away from me a little bit, because that's the middle child. You get a little bit of attention, then you're like, now put it on to somebody else.
So sweet of you.
Aside from horror, there seems to be another intersection of interests here that was unexpected. But as I was making myself more familiar with the stuff that you all worked on, I watched a certain documentary called The Great Pacific Octopus, and
That was nice.
I have I'm obsessed with the Magna Pinna, the big fin squid that
Oh, yeah.
it resides in the Hadal Zone. It's the deepest known thing there, and only in this year it's been documented for like 10 years. Like footage of it has been scant. But finally this year they were able to catch footage of that thing eating out in the wild, which they just theorized that they would drag their tentacles along the seafloor and pick up, dead matter that way. But they actually hunt. It's like really scary
I have
looking.
not heard of
But
this.
I watched
yet.
that
I've
thing's
not
scary
heard of
as
this.
shit.
Yeah, scary as shit.
I watched the documentary though because I'm interested in that stuff, and I really enjoyed it. It was really inspiring,
Thank you so
and I think my
much.
favorite part is when they when the day you got footage of them finding that picnic bench in the water, like, I think I can get it out. I think I can do it, and then they're getting it out. So I really loved that. And then I was listening to the podcast episode where you were talking about that documentary, and it sort of inspired me to there's a lot of crap all throughout my neighborhood. Like, I didn't know on this coast that nobody picks up after their dogs,
Oh,
which really
God, they
frustrates
don't.
me.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
It seems like a common courtesy thing, but aside from that, part of the routes that I take my dogs on whenever I walk them, because I live in an apartment complex, so I don't have a backyard. There's just so much trash everywhere, cigarette butts thrown everywhere, and there was for a while this suspicious sandwich bag filled with blood and what looked like blood on paper towels. So I don't know who murdered someone and left evidence behind. They're not very good at what they were doing. I was just listening to that podcast. I spent 3 days walking around picking up all the trash from my little trash grabber thing.
Oh,
You're
And my
gangster.
neighborhood looks great, and that's
Awesome.
because of what you did.
Aw, thank you so
Aw.
much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
you're gonna make her cry, dude.
You are gonna.
She's gonna fucking lose it. And I don't have any tissue up
You
here.
are gonna make me cry.
I know.
No, it's great.
That's
it's
beautiful.
great because that's what I wanted to do with that whole thing. I wanted to just. That's what I wanted to do. Because every place can look good.
Yeah.
Every place can be nice. Like
Yeah.
even down under the water, even up here, everywhere. And I feel like in this particular area, I don't know. I took a visit down to Arizona one time. This is what did me in on all this stuff. I took a trip down to Arizona, and there it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. Not a cigarette butt, not a wrapper, not a nothing. Like you never saw trash. And I was like, whoa, like, like you come here.
It's because
and just, like,
it's too hot to be
trash.
outside.
Yeah,
there.
they don't
That's
fuck around.
why.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, whatever it is, whether they appreciate where they live and they appreciate their surroundings and pick it up, or whatever the case is, our shit looks like shit. And I'm like, just pick up after yourself. It's not that complicated. But yeah, I'm such an advocate. Litter is like my worst, like.
Yeah, dude, let me tell you,
can't
this is
fucking-
how
I
serious
can't.
it is. If we go as a family
On a
to like
walk.
Ocean Shores, let's say,
I
I'm sitting there with the kids. I don't want to be there anyway. Okay, I want to be home. But
They're throwing the
but I'm
football.
there. But I'm there. We're tossing football around. The ocean water's there. People are
I'm
doing all
picking
their
up
shit.
trash.
Everybody's dropping horses and there's shit everywhere. And I'm just like, this is a nightmare. And everybody's like, where's mom? Where's mom? And I'm looking around for, a mile down the beach. There she is with a bag picking up garbage. The entire time we're there, all day. That's
day.
what she's doing, all day.
just because I want it to be nice. I want it to be. It should be nice. It's the ocean.
I
It
understand.
should be nice.
And I'm just like, I guess if everybody did that, we could get somewhere. But I'm like, Sam, this is like impossible.
Like,
You
you
can't
can't
clean up
do
all
it
this.
by
Did
yourself.
not stop her.
No,
That's kind of gangster if you think about it.
I don't care because
Totally.
look,
Yeah.
this little bit of land that I cleaned up looks very beautiful. So I'm proud of that, and I don't give a shit if it doesn't matter in the whole scheme of things or the big
Yeah,
picture.
no, I get it.
I don't really care because look, that looks great.
Right.
I mean, just people should pick up after themselves, and that's kind of the thing that bothers me is that people don't really care.
Hence is
And
why
it
it was so
does.
important
It
to put
eats
that in
at-
your doc.
It eats at me, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yep.
that was an important documentary for me, and that was an important message. And the fact that you got that message means everything in the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. Thank you
Absolutely.
for getting that.
Look at all these filmmakers in this podcast, bro. What the fuck's going on
Holy
right now?
shit.
No,
Wow.
No, thank you for watching my movie and for getting that part.
absolutely.
That was
Well, I
important.
think that's kind of like, it's easy to kind of get discouraged by kind of like the state of things right now, because
Yeah.
it's like extremely divisive right now. But there's, I don't know who said it, but it's like, and all those photos of like natural disasters, they're like, look for the person that's helping, and that's supposed to be that light there. So
Mhm.
just you being there and picking it up on that day, I'm sure other people saw that and maybe they might have done the same thing. So it's a butterfly effect. You never know. But
You never know.
just
yeah.
sort of like putting your heart out there and, thinking about like with an altruistic mindset, it's really important to lead by example.
Yeah, yeah.
Sad
it
part is I didn't pick up shit.
No, you didn't pick up shit, and neither. You know what? And I'm sad that
No,
my
I feel like
kids
an
didn't
ass.
really either.
No,
But
we
you know
didn't
what?
do shit. We're just
No,
like,
one
look
of-
at her.
One of Dylan did. Dylan helped.
Oh, he
Dylan-
did.
he
Oh,
did.
okay, good. All right,
Good
there's
job,
hope for
Dylan.
some
He's
of us.
the one out
Jesus.
of all the kids that did. But that's what it's about. It's about teaching. You got to teach them. You got to teach the kids
No,
that
you're right. You're right.
we
you're
can
right.
all live someplace. So Washington State is actually the most beautiful place ever. Like, I'm sorry, but I will hands down number
Uh-huh.
one place that's beautiful is here. Washington State.
There's
It's
so much color.
gorgeous. It's
pretty.
everything. There's water. There's forests. There's everything you can imagine. There's mountains. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But people are so trashy and they just throw their trash everywhere. You know what? That bothers me. So I get kind of heated about that. But yes, that was the message that I wanted to come through in my movie. And no one said that but you, John. So thank you for seeing that.
Well, you're welcome. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Wow, that's great. Okay. Well, congratulations, Sam. That's awesome.
Thank you.
No, that's good.
No,
John,
that's cool.
you're the
That's
man,
cool,
bro.
thank you.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
are
get
the
some
man.
pointers how to like flatter Sam. You gotta help me out. I don't know what to do.
You can
We gotta
like,
talk
you
after the
two
show,
can
bro.
stay afterwards.
Yeah, he's
and
gotta teach me
talk.
something.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No, that's awesome. Thank you.
So watch it on Tubi, everybody.
Yeah,
It's
Tubi
out
TV.
there.
Yes.
It's on Tubi TV if you want.
It's free.
The giant
It's free.
It is
Pacific
free. It is free.
octopus.
Yeah, yeah, and watch it on Tubi. Don't go to the other things because Tubi pays more.
Oh my God. So, okay, well, that's, yeah.
You know what? I wanted to go back just for a second because he's directing stuff, and I wanted to just put this out there for everybody. Sam always gives me shit because why are you acting? Just focus on your directing and making the movie all the
I
time.
do feel
And I always felt like it was important, because I like acting. I wanted to get better at it because I always saw myself as an actor, not a filmmaker when I was a kid. I always wanted to be Indiana Jones or, Batman or one of those characters that's kicking ass. And when the 80s came and I wanted to be like Stallone and Bruce Willis, I wanted to be those guys. I really did in the movies. But then I realized, I was probably just going to make them. But as I started to continue creating these things, out of necessity, I was acting. We didn't have all the actors, so I'll play the part. I'll just do it. And then I started to like it because I started to see other actors that we were working with doing it. And I'm like, dude, they're good. I want to do that.
I want to be good.
I want to be good. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker to me, and I think is why it's important to try to act, especially if you're a filmmaker and a director. Being an actor puts you in their shoes. You'll become a better director, and you'll be an actor's director because you're an actor.
Because you've been an actor.
You appreciate the work they put in, and you understand how it all kind of flows, how difficult it is to hit that mark, to say those lines correctly, to have that light in your fucking face. All of it matters.
That's a great point. That's
so
a
when
great
you
point.
when you act as a director, it only gives you a new arsenal of tools to be able to relate to your cast.
To your actors.
Yes.
Agreed.
And guess what?
Yeah.
They end up loving you
Absolutely.
for that. And then the whole production goes up. Everybody's morale is up. It feels better. So if you're one of those directors that sits around and tells everybody what to do and you get pissed off, you're a fucking dick. You got to get your ass out there and fucking work. You got to do what they do. Try it.
Yeah.
At least try it. I appreciate even directors do little cameos in their movies. Like when Michael Bay shows up in one of his movies. Good for you, buddy. You're still on fucking set trying to be fun and do some shit with the guys.
Being in the movie.
Yeah, it's
Being
important.
an actor.
It's
yeah.
fucking important. So I think, John,
It is
that
important.
now that I know and that you're a director, being an actor is going to fucking help you
Big
so
time.
much
Yeah.
making your movies, dude.
Yeah,
It
for
really
sure.
will. You will be, your actors will love you. They're going to love you. So
Well,
just
yeah.
fucking keep directing then too.
Well,
do
and
both.
Keep acting.
Do all of it.
Keep acting.
I would always say do all of it. You got to
all of
learn
it.
everything when you're making these indie
Well,
films.
there's the incentive to act is sometimes that comes with reimbursement, and when you're directing, you're paying for everything.
Yeah.
So it depends on your financial state. But the last 2 months, I've ended the month with $1.80 in my bank account. So we can only do it in little bits and spurts here and there.
Right.
I got you. I
Yeah.
got you.
No,
But
we've been there.
you just keep rolling. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we've
Yeah.
had
Rolling.
like negative $26 in our account before and made a movie.
Dude, I remember when we had more than that. We was like, what is that, overdraft fee? And they returned the check? That's like $300. What the fuck? It happened.
Yeah, I
It's like,
mean,
goddamn.
It does, because you want to make your production the best as it can, and if you don't have support from other people or funds from other places, you use your own. That's what you do, and so it depletes what you've got, and it's hard because you're like, especially when you got kids, and you're like, oh, I need to take care of my kids, but I want to do this project, or I want to do, and you feel it, and it's hard because you have to make decisions that are hard.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that means not doing what you want to do or what you're feeling, or not telling your story. Leo farted. I'm sorry, but that is
That's
horrible.
Sorry, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, you always
I'm
bring
sorry,
it
my
up.
dog farted.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks, Sam. It's
I'm
good.
sorry.
No. It's not your
really,
fault.
that's awful.
It's great. Yeah, I smell
We
it.
blame it on the dog.
I didn't
It's
want.
fucking bad.
It's not you.
Are you kidding me right now?
I didn't want everyone to see.
Dude,
my
everybody's
face
gonna smell this. They're gonna smell it. That's how bad it is. Through the
It's pretty
fucking
bad.
radio, they're
Can
gonna
you
smell
smell
this.
it, Aaron?
Oh my god, dude, yes. That
So
is
my little pride and joy will walk by and do the same thing, and then just walk away like nothing happened.
it's
So I
so
know that.
And I just have a son. I don't do the pet thing, but it's the same thing.
My son's
It's
cat
absolutely
too,
the same
yeah.
thing.
Or like shed their diaper or whatever.
That's
My
a fucking
grandson
skunk
does.
in here. That is shit.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so
Wow.
off topic, but where was I?
I don't know where
totally
we are.
distracting because I just took
So
over
bad,
all my
John, sorry.
senses.
Oh
That's
my lord.
totally okay.
Ooh.
All my
Breathe
senses
through your
were
mouth,
distracted.
guys. You'll be okay.
I don't want it in my mouth.
Through this.
I'm gonna taste it. It's so bad. Get his ass out.
I'm gonna get my dog out.
Oh
sorry.
my
I'm so
lord.
sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna try to focus.
Need
here.
an old priest and a young priest.
I'm gonna end up looking like the new Exorcist poster. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, John.
And it's hot.
Yeah.
Puppies are great.
It's
yes.
fucking bad. God damn it. Yeah, that was brutal, Sam.
I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, he sucks for that.
Mhm.
Okay, 'cause he's later.
Wow.
He needs to go
Fucking
somewhere
melting
outside.
shit. It's gross. It's sad.
Anyway, I had a good point before that happened.
Yeah,
and
I can't
don't
remember what you're saying.
remember
It's
what I was
gone. It's
even
gone
talking
now.
about.
I know, I
It's
can't
fine.
rewind
It's
it.
not
It's
that important,
fine.
but anyway.
No, dude. Okay. I'm in awe of this conversation.
Yeah.
John. And this is the best part of our show most of the time because we used to try to vet everybody like deeply before they got on the show, watch their movies, know everything about them, and they get on the show. You know, we didn't know shit about John Reddy.
No, we did not.
And that's what's exciting about doing a show like this because getting to know you, hearing you speak, looking at your demeanor, looking and hearing about your passion and then us getting invested in you. And then you put it back on us, like with Sam with her documentary, the Horrorverse stuff. I mean, you know, that's the type of conversations I think that grow relationships.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
they-
welcome to
they
the
do.
family, John Reddy.
Yeah, John, thank you.
Welcome
Yeah.
Thank
to
you
the
very
Real
much.
Yeah,
family.
bro. It's fucking dope.
No, we love you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Fucking cool, man.
Yeah. No, it's
Okay,
all good.
and another thing, you're up in this area. I mean, you're in the Pacific Northwest. You're in Oregon, you said, right?
Oregon, yeah.
Okay, so you know, as far as I know, up here in Washington, the community up here is super loyal, right? Regardless, if you're serious about making movies and you're consistently putting out good content, and people are seeing it get better and better, you know, they'll be more than apt to jump in and help you out, regardless of your budget or not, because they want to act, they want to have a good time on set. I hear that across the board from everybody we work with. You know,
absolutely.
We have not been able to pay everybody all the time.
No, we
right?
don't. Always,
but it doesn't fucking matter. They want to do something cool.
Well,
and
I think
fun.
a lot of the
It's
stuff
important.
that we've done
It's
has gotten money be made for people later down the road.
It could,
or,
you know. I mean, but it
because
definitely
shows their skills.
yes.
But it's
definitely-
secondary. I mean,
Yeah.
good work pulls people toward you. It
Right,
just
right.
does.
So I encourage you, John, to reach out to people, especially in this area.
Yeah.
To when you're making your stuff, don't be shy. Be excited about what you're making.
Well, he
You know,
hasn't been
sell
shy.
that shit.
Yeah.
No, not at all. But I mean, just go for it, man, and don't worry about what anybody thinks. You know,
Fuck 'em.
I don't want him to go back to when he was a kid and wants that attention. You know, I want him to go. I want
but
you to
he-
go. Hey, I already know I'm the shit, and I want you to be a part of this because it's badass.
No, but the other
Telling
cool
you,
thing,
it
the cool
works.
thing about being the middle child is not only are you used to basically being ignored, but also you're used to being picked on by your siblings. So you can handle that negative, like, because you always
shit,
get
yeah.
that. You always get that in this industry. That's been the hardest for me. I'm the oldest child, and I'm the only girl. So I have never, and I was never disciplined as a child.
Mm-hmm.
So those two things go against me like crazy when it comes to filmmaking, because I struggle with people saying bad things.
You never got your ass whooped.
I've never had my ass whooped, not once, ever, and I cannot handle it. So that's been the hardest for me. So you're already one up on me with that, because you can handle that, because you already know what that's like.
I gotta clarify here. I was bullied by people outside of my family, and my siblings definitely stood in to protect me, older and younger. And I had great parents. It's just like whenever it was the family dynamic, I would just get bulldozed in conversation. And I think my catchphrase was, "Never mind," for like 10 years.
I understand.
Yeah, so no,
Yeah.
we can definitely feel that. We can
Yeah.
identify with
Dude.
that with our kids.
But you've got a spark.
Definitely.
You definitely do.
You have a gift.
Yes, you do. I can see it. I can feel it.
I don't even have to
talking
see
you.
your work to know that you have a gift.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
And then it's gonna be so fun when you see and you're like, "Ooh," no, just kidding. No, it's fine.
Like,
I leave-
oh
I
God,
leave up
did
the
I
old-
actually say that on the podcast? I said he was great. I'm just
I leave
kidding.
up the old things that I've made because I like seeing that progression and
Yeah.
stuff.
Good for you.
I'm just glad for my early on-camera appearances that those don't exist, because they were so bad. And sometimes
Don't
it
be
wasn't
ashamed.
necessarily on like how I was doing that day, but like, you know, you got to learn. So
Yeah,
Don't ever
I'm
be
happy to leave up
ashamed,
my
though.
old stuff that I've made.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm
The
It's
first
all out
film I
there.
ever edited, I feel the same way. I have to
Yeah.
put it on once a year, usually after a couple of drinks,
Yeah.
just to get through it. Because I'm like, oh well, I learned, but that's not what's going through my
Right.
brain the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can be
Yeah.
embarrassing, honestly, if you look back on your old shit. But you know what? Be proud of it.
But it's
If you can-
humbling.
It is humbling.
It
and
makes
if
you
can
remember
show
your
th-
fucking roots. Is
If you
what it
can
does.
show it and you can
Mhm.
present it to people and actually be like, yeah, that's where I was at one point.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Rodriguez shows his old shit, no problem with his kids, and when he was with brother and sisters, when he was making
Well,
it back in the
there's
day,
actors that don't
they're
have a
and they're
choice.
shitty, but
There's-
he loves them.
yeah.
Like, still,
Some
this is
actors-
where I started.
Some actors don't even have a choice. They're just shits out there, and you can see it anytime you
yeah.
want to see it, and you're
Yeah.
like, wow, they sucked at that time.
I mean, don't put it in your reel, but don't be afraid to show it.
Good rule.
Hey,
Good rule.
I disagree. Put it in your fucking reel. Put that shit in there. Just I came from somewhere. I mean, you know what? It's real.
You know,
it's real
if-
shit.
I guess
And
if
the
you do
realer-
a
the
narrative
more
reel, yes.
The more real you are, the more people humanize you and see you as you're imperfect, and imperfect these days matters. It means something.
Yeah.
It really does, because it means you're not afraid to be imperfect.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're not.
Yeah,
putting on
somebody
a-
who's
you're not
worried
putting on
about
a
it never
show.
does anything.
Right. Good
right.
point.
You know, you're not getting all this stuff done to make yourself look perfect. You're just you. You're just you. And that matters, because authenticity is more important than perfection to me. I'm like, the more authentic you are, the more you fuck up and I see that and I'm like, oh, okay, you're just human.
Yeah.
Then I see you more as a person.
You build
and
rapport
not,
quicker with them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I get it.
I think so.
Yeah.
In a lot of
Just
cases.
come as you are and put your
Yeah.
best foot forward.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Exactly. You do your best, and you know, if you fuck up, you're human. Oh well.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a bad tendency of not overthinking things.
I overthink like crazy.
Yeah. And then people are like, how are you getting this stuff out there so fast? So I say, I don't overthink it. I just make it and I go. And I do make something else and then I go. And I just make something else and then I go.
He only asks me after it's done. Is this good?
Yeah.
I don't have time to overthink it.
No,
It's just
no.
like yes or no.
And I don't really think about it like that. I don't really worry about what people are going to say.
Guys, you're kind of loud.
Yeah. I just fucking do it.
It's a good balance though.
Yeah. Well, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I should take more time with some things, but I don't. I don't know why. I don't know. Just make it. I just make stuff. I feel like
the lack of fear that you have, Aaron, to put things out there kind of helps because
It's a superpower.
It
It
is
really
kind of a
is.
superpower because I can't do
Yeah.
it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not putting shit out there.
I guess.
tons of
I
shit.
just think about
I don't
time.
put it
It's
out.
just time thing. It's a time thing for me. It's like I just don't want to waste so much time and spend all these like years trying to put this one film together and then finally get it out. And then it does just as like every other one. You know, I just see it over and over and over with people. And I'm like, you know, how many movies could you have made if you just did it and got it out and
kept
make another one?
putting 'em
You
out,
know, and
yeah.
I mean, that's the key, right? I think to just continually make stuff and grow and hone your craft and get better and just keep making it. Because the more and more you make, I mean, just because they may not be as good as they should be, or you think they should be, or the audience thinks they should be right now, when you get to that road down, like say 5 years from now, and you have 12 films features that are out there, and someone hits one that's you just made, and everybody loves it, and they like you as a director, and they love you as a director or a writer, you don't think they'll go back and watch those old movies?
They will.
They
but
will because
won't-
they know who you are now.
Yeah, but they won't matter as much as the one.
No,
That
and you will
matters.
never get to that one big one if you don't make all those other ones.
Yeah.
You never will. You know.
True.
I mean, you could. I mean, if you've got all the money in the world to hire everybody, that's great to help you make it. But
It's
If
a
you-
skill you have to build up
Yes,
too.
exactly.
Just to be battered upon by people watching your stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard, especially if you're somebody who's, on the sensitive side. It's very, very difficult.
it's difficult. But here's
It
the
is
thing:
difficult.
when you start it like we're doing it, though, like even with the horrorverse stuff, I appreciate every one view we get. I don't look for, it's not at 1 million views. No, if we get 30 views in a day, I'm like, 30 people watch this shit. That's fucking dope. And I'm proud of it. I really am. And next thing I know, it's like, now there's 135,000 people that have watched it. Holy shit. You know what I mean? Just give it a minute.
Well, let me just say to everyone, because everyone that has listened or followed our podcast knows that I'm terrified of bad reviews or negativity or, any
Trash.
criticism, anything like that. I'm terrified of it. And I put a movie out there as a director, and I was terrified, literally out of my mind, because I'm responsible for this whole entire movie, and I don't know how people are gonna feel. Ooh, are they gonna give me shit because of the octopus wrestling part or this part or that part? Or I was so nervous, and I really have been blessed to not get any real bad reviews, which
None.
is great, and I'm so utterly grateful for. But I at least tried to prepare myself for that. I'm doing my second documentary because I didn't get that. Because if I would have got that, I would have been like, okay, I suck and I'm out.
Yeah, I wouldn't have let you do
It was
that.
hard.
No.
It was hard though. I mean, to put your first stuff out there, it's very hard, and to face the community and the public with your stuff. It's very hard. Whether you're acting or you're the sound person, no matter what you are, it's hard to put your stuff out there and put it out there to receive criticism, because that's the hardest part for me.
Yeah.
But somehow I got through it, and I was blessed not to get a whole bunch of "I hate your guts."
It wouldn't have mattered anyway.
I would have crawled in a hole probably. I wouldn't probably be doing the one I'm doing now.
Yeah.
So I'm doing another
As long
one.
as you come back out of the hole.
That's right.
the important part.
That's
You're like,
it.
I go
It's the
into the
hard part,
hole.
though. I mean,
And I still do it now, even though it's been like 13 years. But my first thing I worked on, like, I'll still look up the IMDb reviews and like die on the inside, and then you're like, all right, I beat myself up enough. I'm gonna go back out and go do more.
And
that's fine.
And this is what's crazy.
gangster.
Yeah, but this is what's crazy to me because Steve, you're an amazing fucking filmmaker.
You are,
dude.
yeah.
The skill set you have from writing to your animation to visual effects to
You are so sweet.
I'm
but
not
one of
lying
these
to
times
you.
we're gonna get loaded, and we're gonna watch my first film.
fine, and I'll show you mine,
We'll show you
motherfucker.
ours.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll show you mine. And
With
we'll-
no
a party
sound.
of it.
Yeah,
John,
and you'll
you
be
come
able-
over too.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
See, what
I'll
I'm
show you yours if you show me mine.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
yeah, exactly.
say, wait a minute now. Hold on a minute. I can't do that. It's weird.
Which is funny because the first short I ever made was also called Intruder. So just a call back there.
Badass.
That's gangster.
Badass.
Nice.
Gangster.
It was just me and a friend. It was very, very small. We did it in her dad's house when he was like out of town.
So cool. It's so cool.
It's
It's
the
so
way it is, man.
nostalgic and cool.
It is.
I find that when I look back on our old stuff, I don't think of how bad it is. I think, oh, how cool it is.
I still watch it. I think it's the shit.
Like,
Even
it's
though,
fun.
so bad it's
You remember
cool.
the experiences.
yeah. Even though I'm looking
Yeah.
at it like, are there trees back there, or is that just that like washed out?
What's going on?
Like I had no idea you could color
Do
grade.
you
a
know what
movie. I had no
lighting
clue.
is?
Yeah.
Lighting.
Yep.
Well, I sure as hell didn't know what lighting was then.
No.
Exactly.
Shooting with
we didn't know
DV
what
tapes
sound
and
was.
shit.
We didn't know what lighting was. We
No.
didn't know what acting was. We didn't know what a whole lot of shit was. But we figured it out.
I'm yelling at the kids because they're wasting tape because they keep laughing, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to buy another tape. This is bullshit.
We literally, for like 20 years, used our kids.
Yeah,
Our
we did.
kids grow up through our movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of fun if you really think about it. But we sucked, yeah. Back in the day, we sucked.
I'm gonna put them up. I swear to God, I'm
Put
gonna
them up.
I'm gonna
Do
start putting
it.
them up.
I
Yeah.
keep telling him to do it, and he won't do it.
Yeah, they're fun.
Well,
okay.
it motivates you to like see a progression and capability,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And when I was like a little bit down on myself today because I was reviewing what I shot last night, and I just was not killing it in the lighting department. So I'm just figuring out how to make up for that in the 2 days I have coming up. But what I had to just do was watch some old Jenna Marbles videos of her laughing at her dogs or something, and it helped pull me out of that. And I'm like, all right, champ, get back in for round 2. Here's how you're gonna do it better tonight.
Okay.
So
You
it
found
can
a way.
be, it can get really discouraging, but you know, you just gotta be tenacious about it.
Gotta keep going.
Yeah.
You gotta keep going.
Well, before we end the show, let's talk about that real quick. So you found a way to get out of that feeling, because I know that a lot of people feel that sometimes, right? Where
Yeah.
you feel this insecurity. You know, are you fake? Can you pull this off? I mean, you got all these people that you're going to be directing in your film, and
Yeah.
they're relying on you to do it. Are you a fraud? You know, you go out there and you did the lighting, and you're not happy with it, and you're like, "Fuck, Jesus Christ!" Your heart starts beating, your stomach feels weird,
Yeah.
and you found a way. Do you think that that's something that in the long run that will go away? Because I know how it happened to me. Or do you think you continually feel that? And do you think you're a strong enough person to find something to help you get through that every time?
I think that it does get harder over time because, you know, as, you know, life starts to take its toll on you and you're working longer hours and you feel more exhausted and you don't have as much energy as you used to have. It's really easy to fall into that dark space, especially if like you got, you know, some people, they have their struggles going on in life and their personality changes a little bit. And then once that issue is over, then they're like a whole other person. Something that my mom would always tell me when I was younger and I would get upset about something, because I think once I hit like 3rd grade, we had like this depressive episode that went on until like middle school, is that you have to like make a conscious choice to be happy and to like, you know, not necessarily push away the things that are making you upset, but to sort of kind of take another look at them and figure out how you can either move past it or how you can find joy despite those circumstances. So I think part of it's a conscious decision, which is why I watched those videos and I went for a walk and I worked out and I did everything I could to get all the beta endorphins back into my system. And then the other part is I have a little bit better of an understanding of myself than I did when I was younger, and I learned that I bounce back pretty fast from things. So I'm glad that it happened before we went into day 2, because that could be a vicious cycle of, oh, this is going to be bad. Oh, I'm not doing a great job. But like, I know that I'm capable of better than I did yesterday. So I know that everyone had a good time yesterday, because I'm used to waiting tables all the time. I know how to make people leave happier than they came. So just keep them talking as you're switching your lighting setups and like, hey, so, how was this play that you had just done here? Or, what was everyone up to today? Or, if anyone wants a break, feel free to go do that. It's going to take me about 5 minutes to switch this setup here and to, kind of listen to what they have to say. If somebody has a long drive, do your best to get them out early and to stagger call time so they're not just sitting around waiting for a long time. And, just sort of fostering a friendly environment that everyone feels happy to be there. They'll be a little more patient with you and, it takes some of the stress off of it. Sorry, that was a rambly version. Hopefully that answered the question.
No, that was awesome.
Absolutely
Yeah, no, we all feel that all the time.
Yeah, honestly. And if I can close this out tonight, I would like to.
Yes, please, because
I have some stuff to say.
Go for it.
Whenever it's ready.
No, okay, no.
Try to close it up soon, but.
Okay, no, John, great. Everything you said is exactly right.
Amazing.
It's exactly right.
It is exactly right.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're on the right path.
I think it's dope. Yeah. Everything he said is the way you should be done. Yep. You focus on them. And the thing that happened with the lights, that's a blessing because you got to see it. Now you can fix it.
Now you can work through it.
Yeah,
and you're good.
When you're good enough that you even notice.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Good point, Steve.
Correct.
Yeah, great.
I try.
I know you do.
It's great.
And you're good at trying.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. And then for you to be excited to get back out there and do it right, that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Don't fucking quit. It's dope.
No,
I love
don't
it.
quit, yeah.
Don't fail.
Yeah.
That's those guys. If you
It
can
gets
believe in
really
yourself,
tempting.
don't fail them.
It gets really tempting.
It does get tempting.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
So
I get it.
tempting,
I get it. But, you're just a badass. You just got to fucking buck up. You got to be fucking
Just
Rocky
do
and
it.
get the fuck up
Fuck it.
and go make your
Yeah.
goddamn movie. I mean, that's
Be
it.
be brave enough to do a bad job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
Absolutely.
what? That's the name of the
Yeah.
show. Be brave enough to do a bad job.
Yep. And make new mistakes. Don't
Yes.
make the old ones. Just make new ones. Because you
Make new
will.
ones. Yep.
And that's fine. It doesn't matter.
It's
Yep.
a process.
It is a process.
It's all a process.
Fucking John Reddy, bro.
Yeah, gangster.
Came out the
We
box.
love John Reddy. Okay.
Yeah.
All
No
right.
joke,
We're
dude.
down.
Okay. Sam, you want to close the show out? You said.
I will close the show out.
Okay.
Yes.
You go for it.
John, thank you for reaching out to us because it's been an awesome show and you're an awesome dude. And the plant behind you, I don't know what that is, but I love it. Anyway.
Coleus.
Okay, thank you.
I've got a problem, and this is not even my
Oh,
plant room.
hey. Okay.
I've probably got more than 40
Got
of
a
them.
green thumb. I love it.
Yeah.
I suck, but I try. Anyway, as goes with filmmaking, and acting, and all that other
Oh
stuff.
my God. So
But no, John, it's been awesome to talk to you. You're great. You're more than we ever even expected or knew that we were going to get from you. You're awesome and keep going and don't stop. And all
Thank you.
of that stuff that you talked about, getting there, getting to the point where you are succeeding and doing better and progressing, that all matters. So don't be ashamed of any of that.
Right.
And keep going. Just keep fucking going. And you and us are going to talk more because we love you and we think you're great. And yeah. And Steve, thank you so much for guest hosting today in the absence.
You are very welcome. I have a ball every time I see you
No,
guys.
absolutely awesome. We love you to death.
yes.
But yeah, explore your gifts and just keep going. And John, we weren't expecting you to be all director and stuff like all that. Like you're
Well-
more than we thought you were, and you're great.
Set the bar down here, and
Yeah.
you can only go up, right?
You're
Motherfucker
not
knows how to
lying.
play the game.
You're
I love
not
it.
lying.
Dope.
I love it.
We
I
look
love
forward
it.
to meeting you sometime.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
which
will
will be
Absolutely, yes.
Which will be very soon.
Very
Yeah.
soon, because
Very soon.
we'll be in touch and we'll be in person.
Well, I don't know if we'll be in touch. I can't find him on fucking line. You can't
No.
find him.
Oh, I can
I'll
find them
send
on-
you some links
You're
on that
fine.
email. Almost all my socials that still exist is under Average John, which
I did
set
find.
the expectation
Okay,
here.
yeah,
You can
yeah.
go there.
I
Yeah,
did
we
find
did
it.
find that.
I found it
Yeah.
yesterday, and I
Average John,
followed
yeah.
you, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, okay, motherfucker,
I think that's
average
you.
job.
Okay, whatever. Average my ass.
This son of a bitch
Anyway.
thinks he's slick.
Well, it's amazing to be average at something, you know? Like,
You know what?
You ain't
It
kidding.
is.
You ain't kidding.
And
Let-
you're humble as shit, and I love you.
See,
for that.
Sam, I told you, because I'm average at sex, right? And that's pretty good. That's not bad. Sam?
That means half the people in the world suck less than you do.
Correct. Correct,
Yeah,
Sam.
that's
See,
always good.
That's not bad.
Only half?
I get it done.
At
What a
least
strong way to
half.
finish the pod.
Yeah.
No, John, it's been amazing talking to you. You're great. We love you. We'll be in touch further.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to our show all the time.
Yes. Yes. And
We've been going a long time now.
4 years.
4 years.
Mhm.
It's been good.
4 years.
It's been good. And
I was
yeah.
gonna say it's only been an hour. What do you mean?
I know, yeah, right? No, 4 years. 4 years we've been on this.
This
doing
journey
this.
with
Yeah,
everybody,
this
meet new
journey.
creatives, and
Yeah.
you're right there with us now, brother.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And that's
Very,
been
very
kind
much.
of our thing, is to kind of, we meet a lot of people through this podcast. We started this podcast because of COVID and because we couldn't do the movie we were trying to do. And so we started this podcast, and we've met so many people, and it's an amazing group of people, these filmmakers that do everything from the music to the animation to the everything, the acting and everything in between, and even music people that are in bands, and everyone has a gift.
musicians and
Everyone has a
everybody, artists.
gift,
We've
and
had
it's
everybody.
great. It's
Yep.
amazing. So we're happy to know you, John, and thank you for being on our show.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, buddy. All right, we're gonna talk soon. I'm gonna find
Yes,
you.
we are.
We'll chat. I'll shoot you an email. I got your email, motherfucker, so you can't hide.
Okay.
All right.
Crap.
We'll hunt you down.
All right.
No matter what.
And Steve, thank you again.
I
for
look
joining
forward
us,
to
buddy.
it.
Awesome.
Look forward to seeing you guys soon.
All right, you will. Yep. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you
think
later.
hard because you're thinking anyway. If
There
you
you
chuck.
go. There you go. All right.
Bye.
See everybody later.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
For those of you that want to be a guest on Around the Reel, please email Sam at aroundthereal253@gmail.com.
That's aroundthereal253@gmail.com.
Not Messenger. Do not message Aaron on Messenger, because then he has to send you a message that says email Sam at aroundthereal253@gmail.com.
That's aroundthereal253@gmail.com.
How come they can't just message me again?
Because nobody wants to fucking talk to you.
Can anybody reach out? That's an artist, filmmaker, actor?
If you're an artist of any kind, we want to hear from you.
But we are going to vet the crap out of you.
We don't care if you make millions of dollars in Hollywood or if you're just beginning your career in the art industry. We don't care. So everybody that wants to be on Around the Reel, yes, we want you.
That's aroundthereal253@gmail.com.